What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Mondays in Middle Earth, and I've got Luke and Leia behind me taking their naps. I'm about to join them as soon as I wrap this episode up. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to my series where we read through The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and the Silmarillion ahead of, well, it was supposed to be ahead of, and it didn't quite happen. We're going through it as we watch The Rings of Power to better understand things, to reacquaint myself with a book series that I read 20 years ago before the internet was a thing. So, um, we're I don't know, a few dozen episodes deep at this point. We're into the Two Towers. Today's episode is Chapter 6, The Forbidden Pool. Now, last week's episode was my favorite of all time. Um, I'm just absolutely thrilled to be dealing with Faramir, who is like my favorite character of all time in the books, apart from Aragorn, and just getting lots of lore dumps about the Númenóreans and the Stewards of Gondor and so on and so forth. And this chapter sort of continues that but adds another layer to what's going on here because we've done the history dump, and now it's time to talk about a little bit more history, but also some moral quandaries, as it were, and an insight into kind of like the beginning of the end for Smeagol. Um, Before we go any further, though, of course, huge shout out to all of these people who make these episodes possible and everything I do here. I am full time on YouTube in September of 2022. This is the end of my fourth month as a full time content creator and streamer, and I owe it all to the amazing people who have been supporting this channel. You too can support, it's very simple. On a premiere like this, you can do a super chat. Just like you can do on a live stream. There's a button down there in the chat window. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not during the premieres. It just depends. And after the fact, you could do a super thanks, which is down there on the uploaded videos. And you can contribute what you want either way. I think they have some pre-programmed amounts like $2, $5, $10 and stuff, but you can contribute what you want, put in your custom amounts. Those are the easiest ways to contribute to this channel. There's also a membership down there for $2.99 a month. There's also the Patreon page, which we'll talk about at the end of the episode. But for now, let's get into this. So, this chapter starts off with Faramir waking Frodo up from the dead of night from a sleep, and Sam does not get woken up, but Sam wakes up anyway and follows as Faramir takes Frodo off into the other portions of the cave. Now, before we get to the reason of why this is happening, they're looking out over the mountains and they can see west towards Minas Tirith, and they can see the mountain range permanently capped in snow over the cloud tops, right? And it's an amazing view. And Sam is kind of complaining that it's cold, we're chilly. And Faramir reminds Sam and Frodo that it's worth a few shivers in the cold, but I actually brought you here for another reason, not to discuss the view. Now, spoiler alert, this is the scene from the films where Smeagol is swimming down in the pool, and this is the hidden pool, which it's a law. Pain is death. The law says that death to any who find this place who are not men of Gondor, excuse me. And so they're looking at this creature, and it's swimming around, and they go to kill it, and Frodo's like, "No, no, I beg of you not to do it." And it says here that Sam, had he dared, would have said yes quicker and louder. Sam does not like Smeagol. I don't blame him. Faramir is very suspicious at this point, and basically grills back into Frodo, and he's like, why is it that you haven't told me anything about your gangly companion until now? I'm marveling at this creature is so secret and sly that come here sporting in the pool before our very window. Does he know of your burden? And Frodo lets it be known to Faramir that not only does he himself know of the burden that Frodo carries, but he himself bore the ring at one point in time, and he may very well indeed be pursuing it. That's why he's here, trying to find me. Faramir wonders at this point, should I kill it? Should I kill it even though you tell me not to? Frodo gives this speech about Gandalf would have had you not slay the creature if he were here. In fact, he forbade the elves to do so. I don't understand why, but Gollum appears to be in some way tied and bound to my errand. And that he was acting. That nap is coming in. He was acting as our guide up until this point. Um, Faramir basically says here at this point, Frodo, please know I cannot let this creature go free. He either needs to be slain or taken. And Frodo offers to go down at this point, and this is like the beginning of the great betrayal, in my mind, because it is this moment that Smeagol is he's love him or hate him, he is to be pitied, as Gandalf says, because his whole life since he first took hold of the ring, he has been a tortured soul, and he has forgotten the love of everyone. And for the first time in his life, in a very, very long time, he has started to put trust in someone, to put faith into someone, and to start to feel like maybe he's worth something more. And that is because of the relationship with Frodo. And this is the moment when he realizes that truly the entire world is against him, even the person who he calls master, who he thought he was beginning to feel a little love for. And it's one of the most torturous scenes in the entirety of the book series, for me anyway, because Frodo plays upon poor Smeagol's innocence here. And, you know, it's this sense of seeing past who Gollum was or Gollum is now and looking at who he was once upon a time and his starvation for love and attention. And here we see Frodo having briefly seen past the darkness and everything, and also from the perspective of Gollum, someone has finally seen past his darkness and all the things that have terrorized him over the years because of his taking of the ring. And all of this gets thrown out the window when Frodo goes down to the pool and begs Smeagol, please come with me, Smeagol. Trust master. And it says that he feels horrible for doing it. Um, it says that when they capture him and Gollum is, thriving, writhing around and everything else, and Smeagol yells at him, calm down. I promise no harm will come to you, not unless they kill me first. Trust master. And Gollum turns and spits at him. It says here that Frodo followed feeling very wretched, as he should. This is a torturous, torturous scene from a heartbreaking standpoint. Um, just the ruthlessness, but at the same time, like the innocence that was there with Smeagol once upon a time, and he finally started to build up trust, and then it's all stripped away again, all because of the evilness of the ring. It's just intense. Um, there's obviously another questioning sequence here. It's not torture. Um, They do release Gollum during the questioning. He's released into Frodo's care, and Faramir declares him free in the realm of Gondor to the furthest of its ancient bounds, and that whoever you take under your protection shall be under my protection and under the shield of Gondor. Are you accepting this creature under your banner of protection? And Frodo says yes. Faramir then questions Gollum as to where he was leading them, and Gollum doesn't want to answer. Um, and Faramir gets pissed here, and he's like, "I will not have secret. You will answer me, or I will reverse my judgment." And Smeagol still will not answer, and Faramir starts to try to guess his way through. And when he gets to Cirith Ungol, Gollum hisses. He's like, and he gets all agitated. And this is when Faramir realizes, "Oh shit, this guy was going to take you back to take this creature away." And he then has a very deep heart to heart with Frodo, and this is a lore dump section of the chapter. And he's begging Frodo, please do not go this way. This will lead you through Minas Morgul, which was once known as Minas Ithil, which was once for the men of Numenor. But they fell into wicked darkness after the enemy gave them rings of power. And after they became living ghosts, they filled the tower and all the valley about it with the decay of the Nine Lords. So this is the headquarters of the Nazgul. And and Smeagol wants to take them right by it to go up to Cirith Ungol. So right into the lair of the Nazgul, and Faramir is rightfully nervous about this and tells them, please, 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 please reconsider. Of course they don't. They can't. There's no other way into Mordor that anyone knows. So if they're truly going to destroy the ring, they have to take this route. And and, and yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. Those of you who've read the books know what's coming next. We're going to be getting into it. We've got to the end. This is a shorter episode this week because that was a shorter chapter. Again, if you want to support like all of these people during these premieres, drop a super chat or a sticker. After the fact, you can drop a super thanks. You can also join as a member of the Adventurers Guild down there. Also, check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/wandering hermits, where my wife, my brother, and I are building the world of the Weave in the Void with the fantasy series, the 5th edition tabletop book, and the book series itself. So check all that stuff out. Torturous chapter. I actually feel kind of sad, like after reading. I just read it, as I was laying here with the cats. I was like, I got to get up and record this, but I don't. I'm just like heartbroken right now because I really feel sick to my stomach about what Frodo had to do to Smeagol. I mean, it really leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Obviously, it is for a purpose. Yeah, I don't know. There's no happy endings here. Until next week, everybody.